Hey everyone, Slothcakes here and welcome back to some more MBON. Now today we're going to be covering the GP01 Fb. This is a 2000 cost mobile suit and it's piloted by Kyo himself. This is from Stardust Memory. Kyo is a interesting main pilot. He's not the best pilot, probably not the worst. That probably goes to the Sentinel. But he does have a strange affinity for Spanish cats, and you'll hear that in game, and he doesn't really like carrots. I like Stardust Memory. I like the manga a little more just because of the flavor text, but that's just me. But anyways, let's get on to this mobile suit. Now, this isn't like really an opponent mobile suit or anything like that. It's just I've been playing him a lot on stream and just by myself, and I very much like this guy. He's a very fun guy to play with, and the big thing about him is he can put a good amount of shots on screen at any time, which is also a plus. But anyways, let's go on to his kit. Now, his kit's fairly simple, not too much things about him. Let's start with his main gun. It has 8 shots, does a fair amount of damage, but a big thing about it is it has a high ammo count, which is important. 8 shots is pretty good for a 2000 cost mobile suit, so we'll always take that. It's a nice beam rifle, recharge it per shot, pretty standard, just gotta know it has a good amount of shots to it. Now, second is his CSA, and let me say, his CSA is very nice. It's an instant knockdown. It does carry a nice amount of momentum with you, especially if you're using his BC movement, which is also a plus, but a very important thing is it has very high damage. It does 150 base damage, and that hurts like a truck. And if you're just doing this in neutral, when you hit someone with this, it's a bang. You're gonna see the health go down when you land this raw. But even if you do a melee combo, example, just do neutral melee or 5B, B, B, then release your CSA, that's some good damage right there, which is always liked. I love this move a lot, and that's the best thing about this guy. He's a CSA machine. You just want to keep on CSAing in neutral. You want to try, and this is something you don't need to do it, but it will make you a better player with this suit, is if you know how to maintain a CSA, as in charging a CSA, releasing it, shooting, or using your A, B, or AC, then go back to charging it without it completely depleting. And once you know how to do that, it makes it so like you constantly have a CSA in your pocket. And that's something that makes you a very scary player. If at any second you can shoot, leave, then release your CSA. It's not super hard to do. It becomes muscle memory once you figure out how to do it, but you just gotta practice. That's a big thing. Like anything I say with these videos, practice makes perfect. But anyways, let's go to his sub, which is his AB. The GP01 will go left or right, firing 4 beam shots while rolling, and this is a very nice move. It can help finish combos, it can be used for punishing, and it can just put a good amount of shots on screen at any given area. Now you have 2 of them, and it reloads per shot, so be a little careful. Its reload's not that long, but it's not too short. But a very important thing about this move is you can cancel it to your main to free fall. So if you do this move raw, you're just gonna go left or right, and if you don't hit anything after, you're gonna stop at the end and just go downwards. However, at the end of the roll, if you shoot your main gun, you'll keep your momentum, then just fall downwards at whatever the stick is facing. So you can fall diagonally and just keep on moving. And that's something you wanna do. You never wanna just straight fall down, well, you know, at least, unless you're out of boost. But you either want to free fall this or boost out and keep on moving. This is a nice move because of the free fall, and so you can just keep on moving and keep on shooting, which is a very nice thing. Just be careful not to expend so much of the ammo. You can AB into AB while you're in burst, and that gives you really nice horizontal movement, and it can just make you just put a crazy amount of shots on screen. And I keep saying that, but we'll talk about that in a second. Now, he has a CSB, and a CSB is really fun. Very interesting move, but it has a very fast charge time. And what it does is he splits apart, charging straight at the enemy, stabbing them, and it's a multi-hit. Now, it's a very fast move. While you charge at them, you're armored. It gives you a good amount of movement no matter what direction they're in. It can be used for defense and offense, but a nice thing is you can CSA while you're CSB. while you're split apart, you can release your CSA. So you can hit someone with it, CSA them, and that will do a solid amount of damage. But you can also use CSB to go to one enemy, change targets, then release your CSA. And that's a very nice way to get close to people, because that horizontal fast movement, it stays with you. You don't go back to the bottom half. The bottom half of the GP01 goes to the top half. So it's a good way to get movement, or just get close enough to get into red lock-on to release your CSA. Or just get close enough to go over that pit, or just get close enough to do whatever. You can also use this at close range, because even if they dodge it, you can release CSA, and even if you're turned around or they're behind you while you're split apart, you'll still do the 180 to release your CSA and shoot them, which is very nice. I can talk a lot about this move, but let's end it here. It's a very helpful move and it's very fun to do. But a nice thing about it is it's a CSB, so you can still use your main gun and your AC while it's charging, or while it's charged. So that's also a great thing. Overall, very fun tool. Now let's get on to his AC. It's an assist. You have two of them, and they'll call him the Gym Cannon 2. The Gym Cannon 2 will shoot 3 times with his beam cannons, and the nice thing is the tracking resets for each shot, and it does a fair amount of damage, and it shoots them in a volley which will combo by itself. Now an important thing to know is you have 2 of them and it reloads once you expend both of them, and this move has a decent amount of recovery. Like, the reload time is pretty long, so just know about that. It's a lot longer than you think. But there's also a very important thing about this move. First is you can cancel it into BC, you can cancel your main gun straight into this, and you can use this move, then immediately cancel it into your AB, then free fall that, and that's a very nice combo which you can put a good amount of shots. You can main gun shot, AC, AB, then main gun shot to free fall, and that's 10 shots on the screen in that 1 second, which is really nice. But another thing about this is a very unique thing which very few suits have, and that's when this moves out of ammo and you hit AC, you'll do a completely different move. You'll do this kick animation where you kick the enemy, split apart, then shoot your bottom half and it will explode. This will instantly put the enemy in a knockdown state. However, this does very poor damage. It does 183 damage for the full animation. The full animation looks cool and very goofy. However, it's not that great. So I kind of would say avoid this move unless you, for some reason, desperately need to do that for whatever reason. I've never done it, and sometimes I do it on accident because I realize, oh wait, this move has a lot longer reload than I thought. So you're gonna see me do it maybe once or twice, just out of accident. It's not that great of a move. But anyways, let's get to his final move, and that's his BC. His BC is a very nice special movement. Now let's go over everything else besides the neutral, because the neutral has a little more to it. Forward and back are the same thing, and you'll do a flip upwards going up. Now this flip doesn't cut tracking, but a nice thing is you can cancel practically everything except for your CSB into it. You can call your assist, BC. You can shoot your main gun, BC. You can AB, then BC. It's a very nice movement option and can keep you moving. Forward and back moves upward, left moves left, right moves right. It's pretty simple. You can shoot, then go into the BC, and at the end of the animation you can shoot again and you just start free falling. You can BC straight into BC again, and you go in any direction you want. Now neutral BC is the same as forward or back BC, however, instead of falling back down, you'll stay into the air. Now while you're in the air, you can move around and you'll start hovering. But it does consume boost pretty fast, and it consumes boost even faster if you're higher up in the air. Now you can do anything you could do not in BC while in this BC hover mode. You can shoot, you can go straight into a melee, you can call your assist. If you do your assist or your AB, you will go straight back into a free fall once the animation finishes, so be careful about that. Only big difference is a few melee routes, like you can do your Uzuma drop, which we'll cover in a second. But also, two things you can do is, first, when you fire your main gun, you can fire your main gun up to 3 times consecutively while you're in this flight mode. You can fire 3 times again. It's nice and you can put a good amount of shots, and that's an immediate Zuda combo, which is also good. But also, you can sidestep, either hit left, left, right, right, forward, forward, back, back, and you're flipping that direction. It's an interesting thing that you don't see a lot. However, if you do hit forward, forward, it's a very fast way to get distance. If you really need to go to a destination, like really need to get into the fight, you can go into this and keep hitting forward, forward, and you will travel fairly fast. Just be careful because this consumes a good amount of boost. Now let's move on to its melee. His melee is fairly simple. There's only a few things I want to talk about. Now he does have a counter, its back melee. It does a nice amount of damage, which is surprising, and for a counter, that's a good thing. But a nice thing is, if you're fast enough, you can get a running melee after. Then you can get a CSA, which does a solid amount of damage. But if you guys are both in the air, or the enemies in the air coming at you, it's a lot easier to get this combo. But you want to know how to do that just because you want to maximize your damage. And if you get the counter, getting an extra free amount of damage is just a cherry on top. Another thing you gotta know is a side melee. If you hit forward or back at the end of the side melee, he will grab the enemy and do an Uzuma drop, which looks really cool and I love it. He can also do this while in burst with his neutral melee, but that's only in burst. And while he's in his hover mode, he can also do straight into the Uzuma drop, but I don't really know the practicality of that. Other than that, he does have a melee route with neutral melee. If you hit back, he just hits you downwards. You're never going to really use it. Like I said, his melee is not really that important besides what I just covered. It's nothing too special, just know he has a counter, he has an Uzuma drop that looks really cool. That's about it. Going into burst, his burst special is pretty simple. He just fires a good amount of shots at the enemy. Now a nice thing is you can actually control which direction he's going. You can either go just one direction or go up, down, left, right. It's not the most important burst special, it's probably not going to be used. However, the tracking does reset after every shot, which is nice. But you cannot switch targets when you do the burst special. When you do the burst special, you will only be targeting the enemy you did the initial burst special at. So be careful about that. And to no surprise, you're going to be using Shooting Burst. Shooting Burst is leagues better than any other burst for this guy. It just allows you to put so many shots on screen. In Shooting Burst, you can go AB, straight into AB, and that's a lot of shots. Just be careful not to be a little too spam heavy, just because if you AB then immediately shoot, you're going to immediately cancel the move, and that sucks, so you just don't want to do that. But like I said, Shooting Burst, way to go. Other than that, that covers this guy. GP01's a very fun suit, and just a nice little interesting thing about him was he was a completely different suit in Extreme vs. 1 for the PS3 or arcades. They actually reworked him going into full burst, and in the first one, he was just the GP01. He was not the GP01 Fb. In the first one, he had an install, which for a short amount of time, you'll become the GP01 Fb. But while he was the GP01, he used a machine gun, and he had a move where he fired both his machine gun and the beam rifle, like in the anime. And I don't know if I wanted that or not. I like this guy's kit, but this guy's kit is not good enough to be in an install. But that's just a weird thing of just, hey, this is how this suit was before it got reworked. It's an interesting suit, I do enjoy him. Just how he changed was also interesting. He doesn't change that much even in Extreme vs. 2, but I did like him. Just learning to do your CSA and your CSB is really the big thing with him, so just be careful about that. But anyways, I think that's the first Stardust memory suit we covered. Like I said, I'm not really here to cover the most important suits. I just like covering suits that I enjoy playing. And I'm no expert in this game, but I do believe I have a decent amount of understanding. And I just like playing suits that are really fun to play. or just have a nice little quirk to them. It's that weird, interesting thing. And honestly, the GP01 is a very nicely designed mobile suit. I very much love the design of the GP01. But with that being said, my name is Slothcakes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you guys do have a suit you want me to cover, and if you guys have a suit you want me to cover or just play via stream or video, leave it down in the comments. But like usual, Slothcakes here. Have a good one, guys. See you guys next time, and bye-bye.